You lousy corksuckers. You have violated my Fargan rights. This salmon-unbatching country was founded so that the liberties of common patriotic citizens like me could not be taken away by a bunch of Fargan iceholes like yourselves. Thank you very much.
He hates these cans! Stay away from the cans! Show me the money! Show me the money!
All right, we are back with another episode of the most quotable movies of all time. And as you guys voted, the most quotable, starting with the letter J, of course, is Jaws. Yeah, so we're
Yeah.
gonna do this one. This is gonna be a fun one.
Another Spielberg, Williams.
2 in a row.
Yeah, I know.
Classic, man. So all right, you want to start this one off?
All right, so how many are we doing now?
5.
I
of
can do
course.
11 if you
I
want.
know this one you could easily do like 20.
5, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Okay, so Brody's on the boat,
Hmm.
and Quinn comes by, and he's trying to make this knot,
Yeah.
and the knot looks horrible. So then, Quinn goes,
Little brown eel comes out of the cave, swims into the hole, comes out of the hole, goes back into the cave again. It's not too good, is it, Chief?
Very good. Yeah, I remember that part now. At first, I wasn't sure where you were going with that, but yeah, I totally remember that now. Yeah, so many great Quint lines throughout
I
this
know.
movie. Oh
I
my
know.
God, you could just do easily 5 on him. All right, well, my number 5 probably won't be on your list because it's a quick, forgettable one, but it's classic. This guy that's wearing this stupid hat on his head to go
Yeah.
swimming comes up to Roy Scheider and says something annoying to him, and Roy Scheider says,
Some bad hat, Harry.
I don't remember that one.
I can't remember. I think they use it for the end of some kind of like production company thing all the
Yeah.
time. So you hear that line, and I had heard it many times for years, and I didn't know what it was from. But then I realized, oh, it's from Jaws. So yeah, classic. So what's your number 4?
Okay. So again, they're on the boat. Quinn's walking by, and he sees Hooper sitting on the deck playing solitaire.
Yeah.
And so he says,
Stop playing with yourself, Hooper.
That's right. Yeah, I forgot about
he
that line.
did like a lot of risque lines in this.
Yes. Yeah, that's great. Classic. I love the chemistry between Hooper and Quint.
Yeah, I
It's
mean,
great.
Quinn was picking on everybody
Yeah,
on the boat.
right. But yeah, such a great character, man. Robert Shaw was so great in this. All right, so my number 4 is a Quint line also. And it's when he gives Brody a drink and he says,
Here's to swimming with bow-legged women.
Yeah, yeah, I remember that line. I didn't have it, but yeah,
Okay, yet another risque line from
I
Quint.
know.
All right, what's your number 3?
All right, so the boat now is clearly sinking.
Yes.
There's water all over the deck. Quint hands Brody a hand pump,
Mhm.
and he says,
Pump it out, Chief.
I
"Talk about futility."
Yeah, right. I forgot about that line. But yeah. So that must have been like right before he gets eaten, pretty much, right? Just moments before. Okay, so my number 3 is I love this line. He's reading, it's a scene where he's reading the book about sharks, and his wife comes up to him and
Yeah, that was a good one. But that was a long one, too.
yeah. Well, I just picked the one line that she says after she hands him a drink, which
Okay.
the wife says,
Want to get drunk and fool around?
Oh yeah.
love those little
Okay.
moments of
I thought you were
humanity.
going to do the whole thing with the kid and her reading the book and stuff.
Oh, right. And saying like come back in here and all that. Yeah. No, just the one line. So what's your number two?
Okay, my number two is
Show me the way to go home. I'm tired and I wanna go to bed. I had a little drink about an hour ago, and it's got right to my head. Wherever I may roam, by land or sea or foam, you will always hear me singing this song. Show me the way to go home, Show me the way to go home, I'm tired and I wanna go to bed. I had a little drink about an hour ago, and it got right to my head.
So classic, man. I love it.
yeah,
Yep. And that scene, of course, that whole scene where they're having so much fun.
right.
And of course, wait, prior to this was the Indianapolis speech, right? And then they start
Yeah,
singing.
yeah. Then they started.
And then,
saying,
of course, Jaws starts banging into the ship.
right.
So great. So my number two, this is perfect timing, is the whole Indianapolis speech by Quint. Because I was like, I can't break this down into sections
No, you
because it's
can't.
so good, the whole
Yeah, the
thing.
story is just so good, and Quint tells it like
Yeah. When he
so
says,
really good.
yeah, like you can just see everything when he says, you know, the eyes roll over white, and
Yeah,
when the shark bites you, and how so many people were lost, and oh my God. And you just see like a dead guy bobbing up next to you or whatever.
yeah, right. And
Yeah.
you think he's alive, and you
Yeah.
touch his shoulder, and then he just falls over.
Right. Yeah. Good times.
Yeah, horrible story, but yeah, it's very true.
Yeah. And then when he ends it, he goes, but anyway, we delivered the bomb, you know?
Yeah,
Ridiculous.
because the sad thing about this was
Mhm.
that the war was already over.
Yeah. Right. Crazy, man.
Yeah,
But yeah, true story. So, all right, cool. So what's your number one? We're probably going to have the same number one now.
yeah.
You're gonna need a bigger boat.
Of course. Yeah, it had to be
I
that.
mean, it's
One of the most
line
classic
that
lines.
everybody says and everybody knows.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I think this is on like AFI's top
Right.
10 of most quote, or you
Yeah,
know,
and
quotes.
that was Brody.
Yep. Yep. Brody has probably the most lines between both our lists here, or at least is in all the scenes. But yeah, there were so many other honorable mentions. My gosh, like oh man, I totally forgot. Like also when Brody ends up shooting and killing Jaws, and he says, "Smile, you son of a bitch." That's a good
Yeah,
line.
right.
Uh
And then another Quint line. Here lies the body of Mary Lee, died at the age of 103. For 15 years, she kept her virginity. Not bad record for this vicinity.
yes, yeah, that's another great honorable mention. Also, when that scene where he scratches the chalkboard and offers
Yeah,
to
yeah. I was going to say too, if you could have, a sound,
right.
the an honor,
Yeah.
thing that screeching sound that he did when he came across the thing. And
Yes,
then he
but
gave that speech about how he was going to do it, but for
Right.
10,000, not for a measly
I'll
three.
give you the head, the tail, the whole damn thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's another great one. So yeah, like I said, Quint could have them all. Hooper had some great lines too, but I can't think of any offhand. But then also the mayor had some good ones, like, you know, amity of course means friendship and all that stuff.
Yeah, the mayor was a real douchebag, though.
Oh yeah,
And
totally.
then another Quint.
Oh, Hooper says to the mayor, I don't want to be a lunch like you're gonna end up, or something like that, you know. But what were you gonna say?
Then another Quint line, uh, talking to Brody, he goes, Chief, if they don't like you going out, they'll love you coming in.
Yeah,
That's when, his wife was upset that he was going out on the boat and stuff.
right. Yeah,
But another
exactly.
one of his little risque things. The other one I liked was uh, yeah, Quint starts it off and he says, Jesus H. Christ, when I was a boy, every little squirt wanted to be a harpooner or a sword fisherman. What do you have there? A portable shower or a monkey cage? And Hooper goes, anti-shark cage. And then Quint goes,
Yeah,
anti-shark cage? You go inside the cage?
right. Yeah, exactly.
Cage goes in the water. You go in the water. Sharks in the water. Our shark. And then he starts singing, farewell and adieu to you, fair Spanish
The
lady.
Lady of Spain.
Farewell
Yeah.
and adieu, you ladies of Spain.
Yeah. And Hooper, the look on his face is so priceless, and that he's just smiling like, yeah, you're probably right. And he
Yeah, well,
was.
then when he was in the cage,
Yeah,
with his little spear gun, and and
sure enough.
the
Yeah,
thing just shattered the cage.
totally. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh man, what a great movie. One of the
yeah, it was
best.
a classic.
Yeah.
Uh, Too bad it wasn't made like 15 years later
Yeah.
when
Yeah,
they
the
had
effects would have been
when they
better,
had
but then again,
CGI. The shark would have been a lot better.
you know, it was one of those things of like the perfect problem to have, because then he made it more scary of a movie because you didn't see the shark for so long.
I know.
So
Yeah, I
yeah.
mean that opening scene with her
Hmm.
bobbing and then like being dragged and
Yeah,
yeah,
crazy.
yeah.
Yeah, man, one of the best. So all right, so this is going to be pretty easy to go. So number one is going to be, you're going to need a bigger boat, obviously. um as far as the number twos goes, I think Indianapolis speech should come before the song, because since it does technically in that order anyway. So the song will be number three. I'm tired and I want to go to bed, or whatever it's called. And then I think as far as our number threes goes, you want to get drunk and fool around is better. We'll have that at four, and then your pump it out chief at five. That'll round it out nicely, I think. Very good list. Okay. So here we go. Here they are again in order. Our favorite five quotes from Jaws.
Pump it out, Chief.
Want to get drunk and fool around?
Oh, yeah. Show me the way to go home. I'm tired and I want to go to bed. I had a little drink about an hour ago and I got it right to my head. Japanese submarine slammed 2 torpedoes into our side, Chief. He was coming back from the island of Tinian to Leyte, just delivered the bomb, the Hiroshima bomb. 1,100 men went into the water. Vessel went down in 12 minutes. Didn't see the first shark for about half an hour. Tiger, 13-footer. You know that when you're in the water, Chief? You tell by looking from the dorsal to the tail. What we didn't know was our bomb mission had been so secret, no distress signal had been sent. They didn't even list us overdue for a week. Very first light, Chief. Sharks come cruising. So we formed ourselves into tight groups. You know, it's kind of like old squares in a battle, like you see in a calendar, like the Battle of Waterloo, and the idea was shark comes to the nearest man, that man he starts pounding and hollering and screaming. Sometimes the shark would go away. Sometimes he wouldn't go away. Sometimes that shark, he looks right into you, right into your eyes. You know the thing about a shark, he's got lifeless eyes, black eyes, like a doll's eyes. When he comes at you, he doesn't seem to be living until he bites you. And those black eyes roll over white, and then... Oh, then you hear that terrible high-pitched screaming. The ocean turns red, and in spite of all the pounding and the hollering, they all come in and they rip you to pieces. You know, by the end of that first dawn, lost 100 men. I don't know how many sharks, maybe 1,000. I don't know how many men. They average 6 an hour. On Thursday morning, Chief, I bumped into a friend of mine, Herbie Robinson from Cleveland. Baseball player, bosun's mate. I thought he was asleep. Reached over to wake him up. Bobbed up and down in the water. It was like a kind of top. Upended. Well, he'd been bitten in half below the waist. Noon the 5th day, Mr. Hooper, Lockheed Ventura saw us. He swung in low and he saw us too. A young pilot, a lot younger than Mr. Hooper anyway. He saw us and he come in low, and 3 hours later, a big fat PBY comes down and started to pick us up. You know, that was the time I was most frightened, waiting for my turn. I'll never put on a life jacket again. So 1,100 men went in the war. 316 men come out. The Sharks took the rest June the 29th, 1945. Anyway, we delivered the bomb.
You're gonna need a bigger boat.
Yeah. Nicely done. All right. So now we've got to pick our 4 most quotable movies that start with the letter K. This was difficult because there's really not that many movies that start with K when you think about it, especially quotable ones. But
How many are we doing?
just 4.
Okay.
So what's your number 4?
My number 4 is Knives Out.
Ah, I did not think of Knives Out. Very good. Yeah, that would have a lot of good quotes just from Daniel Craig alone, probably.
Yeah.
All right, my number 4 may be on your
Without the
list.
Southern accent, though.
Yeah. Kill Bill is my number 4.
I have that higher.
I thought you might.
You knew
Okay.
I would, right?
Yeah, yeah. Okay, what's your 3?
King Kong, the original.
Ah, okay. Ooh, the original. Yeah, that's a good one. I did not pick that. My number 3 is Kindergarten Cop.
Okay.
Got some good Arnold lines.
Okay.
What's your number 2?
The Karate Kid.
That is also my number 2. All right.
Oh,
So that one's definitely in there. And what's your number 1?
Kill Bill.
Oh, there you go. Okay. My number 1 is Knocked Up.
Okay.
A good it had a lot of good lines, good comedy. So for sure Kill Bill and Karate Kid make it. And then since Knocked Up was my 1, that'll make it. So it's between King Kong and Kindergarten Cop.
Kong.
All right, I'll give you Kong on that.
Because you got your number 1 knocked up in the thing.
All right. Yeah, that's fair. I can do without Arnold on this list. There's really only one line from Kindergarten Cop that I always think about. Of course, it's not a tumor. There's a few other funny ones by the kids, but yeah, that's good. All right. So these are your choices to vote for the next episode: Kill Bill, Karate Kid, Knocked Up, and King Kong. This will be
And
interesting.
I think we should treat Kill Bill as both movies together.
Yes, that's what I was thinking as well. So all right, cool. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what wins this time. Um I have a feeling most might go with Karate Kid, but you never know.
Hmm.
So we shall see.
Yeah,
But
there was a lot of good ones in Karate Kid,
oh yeah,
especially, but then most of them were what's his
Miyagi.
name? Miyagi, yeah.
Oh yeah, for
Yeah,
sure. Yep. Oh yeah, yeah. No, it'll be good. I hope I'm actually hoping that one wins,
yeah.
but
I
yeah,
yeah, I'm thinking that it might.
we'll see. But all right, so we'll see you here on the next one and looking forward to it. Love you.
Love you too.
All right, bye.